LATD Nation, welcome back to the channel, man. We got a special movie review for y'all today. The long-awaited The Mandalorian and Grogu, man.
Yeah, finally. First Star Wars movie to be theatrical. Well, actually, I think the first Star Wars movie since Rise of Skywalker all the way back in 2019. December of 2019 to be precise. So that makes 6.5, almost 7 years.
Mm-hmm.
Now, you don't really need to go too far. Point blank, we Star Wars fans. Star Wars is my second favorite movie franchise of all time. Star Wars was the first media property that I ever truly became a diehard fan of. And to this day, it still has a special place in my heart, regardless of how it's been kind of mixedly handled in Disney's, I guess, care.
Yeah.
I
like to say IP, but
as of the last 13 years or so that they've had ownership of the property, there's been a lot of good. There's been a lot of stuff that I haven't liked, but overall, I ain't one of them people that's gonna sit here and if it's Disney Star Wars automatically ain't worth nothing, because truth be told,
it wasn't much different before they acquired the rights anyway.
I'm always willing to give anything new Star Wars a chance because I grew up with this thing. I love it. It means a lot to me. So, of course, Mandalorian and Grogu, I was excited for this. It's been a while since I've consumed any real new Star Wars content, honestly. I haven't watched Andor. I haven't watched Maul yet. I need to. I didn't watch. I think the last thing I really watched was Ahsoka.
I need to finish watching that, too.
I enjoyed Ahsoka a lot, though. I'm not going to lie. I'm ready for season 2. I think there's supposed to be another one.
Bet. Okay, we'll see. Because I haven't watched Ahsoka, Andor, or Maul yet, man. I've been slacking.
Yeah, I've been definitely slacking on my Star Wars content as of late.
Yeah, but overall, man, I'm going to get into my thoughts on the movie. Like, when this movie was announced, I was like, okay, I can't wait to see what else they do. I didn't think too much of it at first when it was announced. Mainly because I figured it would just be another, adventure. You know what I'm saying? Nothing too crazy, nothing too wild. And when I saw that this movie was getting all the hate that it had, I had to go see this for myself. Like, I think yesterday you went to go see Obsession again.
Of course.
And
didn't regret it whatsoever. That's a great movie once again.
Oh, yeah.
We already reviewed it. Go ahead and check that out. But long story short, just go see that movie, y'all. That's the kind of movie that needs to be supported in theaters.
Yeah, definitely. Obsession. Yes, sir. But back with, like I said, all the hate that it was getting for no reason, I was thinking, like, you know what? Let me go check this out myself. And I was praying that to the Lord that I would enjoy this. And sure enough, man, I love this movie.
Oh, yeah. I thoroughly enjoyed it. Like, Star Wars, for me, I'm long past the point of, this movie or this show has to be the greatest thing I've ever seen, or else Disney's ruined the franchise. I'm 27.
Oh, please.
I'm at a point to where if I like it, I like it. If I don't, on to the next one.
Yeah, exactly.
It doesn't make or break my love of the franchise in any way, shape, or form.
No, exactly, bro. Like, neither has Disney acquiring the rights to any of the Star Wars properties since then. Like, I'll say it is, the sequel trilogy was probably the worst trilogy.
Oh, easily.
Like,
as a trilogy, yes, it's the worst by far.
But individual movies, they're all okay. The first two were okay. The first one was okay. The second one I didn't care much for, and then the third one, of course, Rise of Skywalker.
I hate the third one. Yeah, that's my least favorite Star Wars movie ever.
Yeah, that one can go to hell.
That is the worst Star Wars movie I've ever seen. I don't care what nobody says.
Yeah, but I'm not gonna sit here and rant and rave about it.
This is coming from someone that's seen every single Star Wars movie.
Oh, same
theatrically released every single one.
Same here. That's why I put it like this. Rogue One is my favorite one.
Yeah.
Then I'll say this after this. Now I'll say Mandalorian and Grogu after Rogue One. But anyway, back to what I was saying. This movie pretty much, like, if you like John Wick, then I feel like you'll like this movie too. Because this is pretty much a space cowboy John Wick right here.
I can see that.
Because it's action packed. It's definitely episodic in a way, but it fits. I think the movie is overall great. I had a lot of fun watching it. Like, the dialogue isn't perfect in this,
of
but
course. Star Wars is always kind of cheesy dialogue. So
yeah, but it's exactly like, what do you expect? Like, Mando Din Djarin, he's easily the face and steals the show out of this whole series, out of this whole movie. And one thing I really loved about this movie too is I like that they didn't just have Grogu there as just like an ornament. or just like a like.
Oh, Grogu definitely puts work in.
Yeah, and exactly, and that's what I loved about this movie too. Like, it's really about Mandalorian and Grogu, not just the Mandalorian. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, and also, it doesn't really fall too heavy on nostalgia either.
It definitely does do its own thing for sure. It feels like a movie that can be enjoyed outside of the Skywalker saga, which I do think that Star Wars definitely needs to start capitalizing more on stories from outside of that. Because as much as I love the Skywalkers, as much as I love the whole idea of the Jedi and the Sith, I'm glad that we're starting to get stories that kind of stray more away from that and kind of focus on other aspects and elements. Because this is a big universe. There's a lot that you can do, from the bounty hunters to there's just a lot of things that Star Wars has to offer as an IP outside of just being the Jedi and the Sith, which is why I think a lot of people do like Rogue One, even though I'm not the biggest fan of that movie, because it deals more with like the ground war, like the war aspect of Star Wars.
And
this
what's wrong
movie,
with that? It's literally in the name.
Yeah, exactly. And Mandalorian dealt more with the bounty hunting, sort of the lawlessness in the galaxy.
Yeah, I agree. I want to see more about the bounty hunters, not just from the Mandalorian side, but one character that shows up in here is Embo from the Star Wars: The Clone Wars fame.
Oh yeah,
and everybody loved Embo.
Yeah, I noticed
Embo
that.
was that silent badass with the Kung Lao hat, who was doing a bunch of flips and tricks in Star Wars: The Clone Wars. Man, he pulls up here and there, shit. I don't want to spoil nothing, but when he pulls up, it's like he's the menace. He's menace.
On timing for sure.
He has aura. He's aura to a degree, to the 1,000th degree.
He's no Cad Bane, but Cad Bane is my favorite bounty hunter. I can respect that.
Yeah, I can respect that. Boba Fett, of course, is my favorite character of all time, and my favorite bounty hunter. But I would love to see more from that world. But I'm glad we get to see it from the Mandalorian's eyes, from Din Djarin's eyes, his point of view. The story-wise, I feel like the story's pretty good, too. It meshes well.
There's nothing groundbreaking, for sure.
Yeah, but it meshes well. It has a nice little flow to it. Now, granted, it can feel a little all over the place in some cases. Like,
that's probably the biggest criticism I would give it.
Yeah, but it's not, like, to the point where you can't, where it's confusing. Like, you see how they got here. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I think that's what another big plus/gripe with the movie. But my biggest gripe with the movie is that it's a tad bit too long and it's episodic. Like you can see that this probably would have been the Mandalorian season 4 if they didn't make it a feature length film.
Yeah.
Like because it starts off with Act 1, Act 2 clearly. Like you can see the different settings that it has and everything. So, but other than that, I wasn't really too bothered by it. I love the action in this movie.
The action was great, as to be expected with a Star Wars movie, of course.
Like, and they cranked it up to 11 with the budget and everything. This is really what this movie needed. One thing I'll say too, this movie, I've mentioned this on the rapper review on the TikTok. Y'all should, you'll see that on the screen somewhere within this video. But on the TikTok, I said that this movie really gets a whole lot of hate, really for no reason whatsoever. Like it's not like Rodney said, it's not groundbreaking by any means. It doesn't reinvent the wheel, but it's still a fun time at the movies. Like what do y'all expect? Did y'all expect like a big lore dump about the Skywalkers and how this ties into the Jedi and the Sith and who walked away? I'm like, this Jedi and the Sith are dead.
I think people take Star Wars too serious.
Can I be honest, bro? I'm just at the point where I'm kind of saying fuck the Jedi and the Sith. I ain't about to say
I wouldn't say all that, but
like a little bit for me. Like I don't need to see
I don't want to see that every single time.
Right.
Whenever they do focus on that, I've always been a huge fan of that conflict and the symbolism when it comes to that back and forth, those ideologies. But I do appreciate also, I'm just the type of person, I just love Star Wars in all forms, like all shapes and sizes.
Yeah, I mean, same here.
I can equally appreciate a movie like this and a movie about the Jedi and the Sith, but that do get redundant when that's focused on a little too much. So I am happy that this generally did not really go much into that.
Yeah, like I would if we're gonna do anything with lightsaber combat or the force or the force of the Sith and the Jedi, I'd rather see people other than just Obi-Wan and the Skywalkers. I would rather see people like Quinlan Vos or like Asajj Ventress, or maybe even a little bit more Darth Maul too.
Yeah,
which we got Maul. But I mean, but you get what I'm saying though. It's just like it's sometimes it gets a little redundant seeing the Skywalkers all the time to me. And how everybody wants that to tie into every single little part of the show. And it's like, no, this is about Mandalorian and Grogu doing what they do. And that's what I loved about this movie overall. Like, me personally, I didn't have no problem with this movie. I'm literally sitting in my seat looking for reasons why it's hated.
Yeah.
And people were comparing this movie with Rise of Skywalker. Y'all need to quit smoking. Y'all need to, I don't know what y'all smoking, what y'all drinking, what y'all putting in them.
Rise of Skywalker, no. This definitely, for me, is more enjoyable than that movie.
Oh, it 100%. And the one thing I love about this movie, too, it stands on its own.
Yeah, it do.
It stands on its own very, very well. Like, you don't need a lot of nostalgia to know what's going on.
Not at all. It's definitely a movie that can be enjoyed outside of being a diehard Star Wars fan. It helps, but it's not the biggest thing. Right. It's not the most lore reliant Star Wars movie. It doesn't really rely too much on what has been done before. Not even from within just the Mandalorian series itself, but just in general. Right,
exactly. Like, I don't think you need to know who Zeb, Rada the Hutt is, or even Embo is just to understand what's going on.
Oh yeah,
it'll definitely help because Rada the Hutt, they all show up in their own shows. Rada and Embo, obviously they show up in but they show up in the Clone Wars. Rada the Hutt is like a little baby, and that's what I was thinking the whole time. I was like, they said he's Jabba the Hutt's son. I'm like in the movie, I'm thinking, wait. Is he the little baby that they were trying to find back in Clone
Wars?
In
the Clone Wars?
Yeah, I was like, that's what I was thinking. I was like, yeah, that's exactly who that is. You know what I'm saying? It's like it's good to see that he's even came back.
Yeah.
And like I said, Embo, I was too hyped to see Embo come back. Bro.
I knew it was him. I was like, wait a minute, he looked familiar.
Yeah, like it just. But like I said, you don't really need all of that to understand what's going on in the movie. Don't listen to what these people on Reddit are saying about this movie. I don't care what anybody says, dog. You are not going to convince me that this movie is bad by any means. If anything, I'm going to get into the ratings real quick. This don't even really need to be a long review.
I don't think so, nah.
Like, I'm going to get into the ratings real quick. For me, this was extremely high heat. The only thing that keeps it from being a flawless victory is just the fact that it's a little episodic and a little too long.
Yeah, that's fair.
But this, I'll give it about a solid little 8.5 out of 10. I enjoyed this movie heavily.
I enjoyed it too. I'd give it a 7.5.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that it was solid overall. Obviously, it isn't anything that we haven't seen from the Mandalorian show in particular, but I still enjoy the formula for what it is. Grogu was still entertaining. I like that we got to see more of Grogu sort of doing things on his own.
So would you give it it's a high smooth or a low heat?
I give it a high smooth.
It was
me
smooth.
Personally. Yeah. I like seeing that Grogu's kind of starting to grow more into his own. That's one thing I did like about this movie a lot. He's getting to a point to where he could kind of take care of himself.
Right. Even all the special effects were done very well too.
Of course.
And it's like, do you know what makes this movie so much better than Rise of Skywalker?
What would that be?
They actually gave a fuck.
Yeah. Rise of Skywalker just felt too rushed. It didn't feel like a proper send off. Not even just to the sequel trilogy, but just the whole Skywalker saga. Like, this was supposed to be the culmination of 9 movies across like multiple generations over the course of like 60 some odd years. Right. And it really did a horrible job. Yeah, of tying everything together.
Yeah, because they actually look like they gave a fuck about the story, really.
Yeah.
Like don't get me wrong, production wise, every single movie that you see is done very well for the time. Even Rise of Skywalker, but story wise, this one is pretty simple. But it's simple because this is what it needs. It needs to be simple. It doesn't need to be super complex or anything like that. But they look like they actually gave they actually cared about the story in this too, to make it cohesive as it is in this movie, even though it's not the most complex thing.
Yeah.
But going back to what we were saying about these haters and everything, bro, it's just like everybody was hating on Solo when it came out. Was it really? I
enjoyed Solo.
I still got yet to watch it. So what'd you think of Solo?
I like Solo. I enjoyed that movie. I can understand it not being the most well received or well liked Star Wars movie, but I enjoyed it. I didn't think it was bad.
Yeah, bet. But everybody praises Andor, and why is that? Because it's darker?
I've never seen Andor, so I couldn't even tell you.
Okay, I think that's why a lot of people like it, bro.
I think so. From what I've heard, that's a factor in why.
And there ain't nothing wrong with that, but you can like wholesome shit too.
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know Andor like that.
Yeah, but I mean, it is what it is. People gonna hate what they gonna hate, but go see this movie for yourself. The Rotten Tomato score does not do this movie justice at all.
Yeah.
At the very least, this deserves. I wouldn't say this deserves an 80 something. Me personally, I'd give it an 8.5 out of 10, like I mentioned, but I wouldn't give it 85%. I'd probably give it 78% on Rotten Tomato.
Yeah.
I feel like it's more closer to that than it is a 65. You know what I'm saying? But hey, man. With all that being said, I've been Jay.
This has been Rodney.
We're LATD. We got more videos coming soon. Stay tuned for this video coming out. And yeah, man, God bless y'all. Peace.